Mom, I can't make it to dinner. Something came up at work. That text message sat on my phone screen for 10 minutes before I finally put it down. It was the third time that month. The fifth time that year, and honestly, I'd lost count of how. Many times total. My name is Sarah. I'm 62 years old. And for the last 5 years, I've watched my son drift further and further away from me until I became nothing more than an afterthought in his busy, important life. But this isn't just a story about a mother being forgotten. This is about what happens when life strips away everything we think makes us valuable and forces us to remember what actually matters. Before I tell you what happened next, don't forget to subscribe if you love true stories like this, and tell me in the comments. Have you ever felt invisible to someone you love? What did you do? Let me take you back to where it all began. My husband, Robert, died 7 years ago. Heart attack. He was only 58. One day he was here, fixing the porch railing and complaining about the neighbors' loud music. The next day he was gone. Marcus was 23, then fresh out of college with a marketing degree and dreams bigger than our small town could contain. Robert had been so proud of him. We both were. After the funeral, Marcus sat with me in the kitchen, that same kitchen where I'd made him breakfast every morning for 18 years, and he held my hand. Mom, he said, I'm going to make something of myself. I'm going to make Dad proud, and I'm going to take care of you. I promise. I believed him. God help me. I believed every word. I worked at Henderson Manufacturing for 32 years. Started on the assembly line, worked my way up to floor supervisor. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was honest. It paid the bills. It put Marcus through college without debt. After Robert died, I kept working. The house felt too empty otherwise. My coworkers became my family. Tuesday potlucks. Friday night bowling league. Sandra from accounting always saved me a seat at lunch. It was a simple life, but it was mine. And I was content. Marcus moved to the city 3 months after his father's funeral. Chicago, 6 hours away. He got an entry-level position at some marketing firm I'd never heard of. The pay was modest, but he was determined. This is just the beginning, Mom, he told me on the phone. In 5 years, I'll be running my own campaigns. In 10, maybe I'll be a V. I smiled when he said things like that. My boy had ambition. He got that from his father. That first year, he came home twice, Christmas and Easter. Both times he stayed. Less than 48 hours, but he called every Sunday. We'd talk for an hour, sometimes more. He'd tell me about his work, his tiny apartment, the city noise that kept him up at night. How are you doing, Mom? He'd always ask, are you eating okay? Are you lonely? I'm fine, sweetheart, I tell him. And I was mostly year 2. The Sunday calls became every other Sunday. Then monthly. He came home once that year, Thanksgiving. He spent most of it on his laptop. Sorry, Mom. Big presentation on Monday. I just need to finalize a few things. That's okay, honey. You work hard. Year 3, he got promoted. Account manager, significant raise. He was so excited when he called to tell me, I'm moving to a better apartment, Mom. 2 bedrooms. You should come visit sometime. I'd like that, I said. I never did visit. He never actually invited me. By year 4, I had to call him to hear his voice. And even then, half the time it went to voicemail. Hey, Mom, sorry I missed you. Things are crazy here. I'll call you back soon. Soon turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Year 5. Year 5 is when I realized the truth I'd been avoiding. My son didn't need me anymore. Worse than that, he didn't even see me anymore. I had become invisible. My 60th birthday fell on a Saturday. I didn't plan anything big. Sandra from work and a few of the bowling league ladies came over for cake and coffee. We laughed. We told stories. It was nice that Marcus didn't call. I waited all day. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart jumped. But it was just messages from friends, well wishes, funny memes. 8 o'clock came, 9, 10 at 11:30. I got a text. Happy birthday, Mom. Sorry for the late message. Insane day. Love you. I stared at those words for a long time. Insane day on a Saturday. My 60th birthday, I typed back. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you too. I didn't tell him it hurt. What would be the point? I retired that year. Henderson gave me a nice send-off party. Gold watch, gift cards, speeches about my dedication. Marcus couldn't make it. Client emergency, he said. Retirement was ... different. I had time now. Too much time. The house was quiet. I gardened, ironed. I volunteered at the library. I took up watercolor painting. I tried to fill the days, but there was this emptiness I couldn't quite name. I'd scroll through Facebook and see Marcus's profile, pictures of him at fancy restaurants, him at company events in expensive suits, him with colleagues at some rooftop bar, Chicago skyline glittering behind them. He looked happy, successful, like he'd achieved everything he set out to do. And I was proud of him. I really was, but I also wondered, when did I stop being part of his success story? Christmas of year 5, I asked him to come home. Please, Marcus, it's been almost 2 years. I miss you. Long pause on the other end of the line. I'll try, Mom. I really will. But my girlfriend's family is doing this whole thing in Aspen, and she really wants me there, and you have a girlfriend? My heart lifted despite everything. Marcus, that's wonderful. Tell me about her. Yeah, her name's Victoria. She's great. Works in corporate law. We've been together about 8 months. 8 months, and he never mentioned her. I'd love to meet her, I said softly. Yeah, definitely. Soon. Look, I have to go. I'll send you money for Christmas, okay? Buy yourself something nice. He sent $500 through VENMO. I would have traded all of it for a single hug. Shift to deeper pain. I'm not the kind of mother who guilts her children. I didn't raise Marcus to owe me anything. I sacrificed for him because that's what love is. That's what parents do. But there's a difference between not owing someone and forgetting they exist. Steady honest, and that's what hurt most. Not that. He was busy. Not that he built a life I wasn't part of, but that I had become ... optional. A checkbox. An obligation he kept meaning to get to, but never quite found the time for. I wondered if his father would be disappointed. Robert had been so devoted to family. Sunday dinners were sacred in our house. No exceptions, no excuses. Family first, he'd always say. Everything else is just noise. I missed him so much it physically ached. Recovery tone, trying to stay strong. I told myself Marcus was young, ambitious, building his career. This was normal. Plenty of adult children got busy with their own lives. It didn't mean he didn't love me, right? Pause. I held on to that thought like a lifeline, and then ... year 6 arrived. And with it, the phone call that almost destroyed me. March 14th. I remember the day because it was Robert's birthday. He would have been 65. Every year since he died, Marcus and I would visit his grave together. We'd bring flowers. Tell him about our year. Sit in comfortable silence. It was our tradition. The one thing that remained sacred ... until it wasn't. Soft. Painful. I called Marcus that morning ... "Hi, sweetheart. Just wanted to remind you about today. I thought we could drive up together around noon. I have Dad's favorite flowers, those yellow roses he loved." Silence. Marcus. Oh ... Mom. I ... He sighed heavily. I completely forgot. I'm in New York right now. Major client pitch. I'm literally about to walk into the meeting. My throat tightened. You forgot your father's birthday? It's been 6 years, Mom. I don't think Dad would mind if we... I mind? My voice came out sharper than I intended. This is the one day, Marcus. The one day we... I know, and I'm sorry. I really am, but this pitch could mean a promotion. I'm up for senior director. This is huge for me. Pause, voice breaking slightly. Okay, I whispered. Okay, honey. Good luck with your pitch. Thanks, Mom. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Maybe I'll come home next month. He didn't come next month. Shift to devastating moment. I went to the cemetery alone, sat by Robert's headstone with those yellow roses, and I cried not quiet tears. Real, gasping sobs. I don't know what I did wrong, I told the marble stone. I don't know when I stopped mattering to him. An elderly man visiting a nearby grave heard me and offered a tissue. He didn't say anything, just nodded with sad understanding, like he knew exactly what kind of pain this was. Pause, regrouping. That night, I made a decision. I wouldn't chase Marcus anymore. I wouldn't beg for his time or guilt him about missing things. If he wanted to be in my life, he knew where I was. The door was always open, but I was done making excuses for him, done pretending his absence didn't hurt. Slight shift, weeks passed. Then months, he texted occasionally, surface level stuff. How are you? Fine. You? Busy. Talk soon. We were strangers texting out of obligation, bitter honesty, and then I heard about Victoria through Facebook, not from Marcus. From a tagged photo, engaged to this amazing woman, the caption read. Pictures of her showing off a massive diamond ring. Comments flooding in with congratulations. My son was engaged, and I found out on social media. Pause, deep breath. I called him immediately, voice shaking. Marcus, I just saw you're engaged. Oh, yeah, I was going to call you. It just happened last night. It's been crazy. You were going to call me, I repeated slowly. Mom, don't be like that. I'm calling you now, aren't I? Because I called you? Silence, raw emotion. Do you even want me at the wedding? I asked quietly. Of course I do. Don't be ridiculous. Then why does it feel like I'm an afterthought in your life? Like I'm just nothing to you? Mom, you're being dramatic. I'm busy. I'm building a life. That doesn't mean I don't care about you. Quiet devastation, it feels exactly like that. Marcus, he sighed, irritated. I don't have time for this guilt trip right now. Victoria and I have a meeting with a wedding planner in 20 minutes. I'll call you later, okay? He hung up. He didn't call later. I didn't hear from Marcus for 6 weeks after that conversation. No calls, no texts, nothing. I didn't reach out either. What was the point? But then, something changed. Tone shift to building tension. It started with a Facebook post I almost scrolled past. Someone Marcus worked with, a colleague named Jason, posted a celebratory photo. Big news at Fletcher Marketing. Congratulations to our new senior director of brand strategy. There was a photo. A man I didn't recognize shaking hands with. Executives holding an award plaque. Not Marcus. Pause, I frowned. Marcus had been working toward that promotion for over a year. He'd missed holidays for it. Missed his father's birthday for it. I scrolled through comments. Found one from someone else at his company. Tough break for Marcus Chen, but that's how it goes. May the best ideas win. My stomach dropped, building concern. I hesitated, then sent Marcus a text. Hi, sweetheart, just checking in. How are things? At work? 3 hours later. Fine. That was it. Just fine. Something was wrong. I could feel it. Motherly intuition. 2 weeks later, I got a call from an unknown Chicago number. I almost didn't answer. Hello? Mrs. Chun? This is Victoria. My heart stuttered. This was the first time Marcus's fiancée had ever called me. Victoria, hello. Is everything okay? Shift to revelation, long pause. I don't know how to say this, but I think you should know Marcus and I were taking a break. A break? What happened? Another pause. Her voice was cold, clinical. He lost his job. Did he tell you that? My blood ran cold. What? They let him go 3 weeks ago. Some issue with a campaign he was leading. His supervisor took credit for Marcus's work, then blamed him when the client complained. Marcus tried to fight it, but corporate politics ... Anyway, he's been unemployed for almost a month. Stunned silence. I couldn't speak. Victoria continued, her tone growing sharper. He didn't tell me for 2 weeks. Just kept getting up, putting on his suit, pretending to go to work. I found out when his direct deposit stopped hitting our shared account. I had no idea. Neither did I, and honestly, I can't be with someone who lies like that. Someone who isn't stable. I have a career to think about, an image to maintain. Coldness in her voice. I'm returning the ring tomorrow. I just thought, you should know in case he tries to come crying to you. She hung up, pause, emotional processing. I sat in my kitchen, phone still pressed to my ear, dial tone buzzing. My son had lost his job. His fiancée had left him. And I had no idea because we didn't talk anymore. Because somewhere along the way, we'd stopped being mother and son and become ... acquaintances. Shift to worry. I called him immediately. It went to voicemail. Marcus, honey, I just talked to Victoria. Please call me back. I'm worried about you. I love you. No response. I called again the next day. Voicemail ... and the next day. Voicemail. On the 4th day. I was about to drive to Chicago myself when my phone finally rang. Marcus. Marcus? Oh, thank God. I'd been so worried. Mom. His voice was flat, defeated. I need to ask you something. My heart clenched. Anything, sweetheart. Anything. Long pause. Can I come home for a while? Pause, maternal love flooding. And I closed my eyes. Relief and pain mixing together in equal measure. Of course you can. This is your home, Marcus. It always has been. Silence on the other end. Then a sound I hadn't heard in years. My grown son, crying, emotional devastation. I'm sorry, Mom, he choked out. I'm so sorry for everything, for all of it. I don't have anyone else. Victoria left. My friends were all work friends, and they stopped returning my calls. I can't afford my apartment anymore. My savings are almost gone. I have nothing. I am nothing. Soft maternal comfort. You're my son, I said quietly. You're everything to me. You always have been. More crying. Gulping, gasping sobs. I don't deserve you. Pack your things. Come home. Pause. Okay, he whispered. Okay. Transition, reflective tone. He arrived 3 days later, I heard. His car pull into the driveway around 8 in the evening. Old Honda Civic he'd kept as a backup. The luxury sedan was gone, probably sold or repossessed. I stood at the front door, hands trembling slightly. Pause. When he got out of the car, I barely recognized him. His expensive suits were gone, replaced by wrinkled jeans and an old t-shirt. His hair was longer, uncombed, dark circles under his eyes. He'd lost weight. He looked ... broken, soft emotion. He stood at the end of the driveway, looking at me like he wasn't sure he was allowed to come closer. Hi, Mom, he said quietly. I opened my arms. Pause, voice breaking, and he ran to me like he was 10 years old. Again, he collapsed into my hug, this tall, grown man, and sobbed into my shoulder like his heart was shattering. I'm sorry, he kept saying. I'm so sorry. You're home now. That's all that matters. Pause. We stood there for a long time. Me holding my broken son. Him holding on to me like I was the only solid thing in his world, because in that moment, I was. The first few days were awkward. Painfully so. Marcus slept until noon. When he finally emerged from his old bedroom, he'd shuffle to the kitchen, pour coffee, then sit at the table staring at nothing. He didn't talk. Barely ate, just existed. I gave him space, let him process. Let him grieve for the life he lost, but I also made sure he knew he wasn't alone. Warm tone, I cooked his favorite meals. Pot roast, mashed potatoes, apple pie. Comfort food from his childhood. At first, he'd just pick at it. Thanks, Mom, it's good. But slowly, over the course of a week, I noticed him eating more, cleaning his plate, even asking for seconds, small victories, shift to healing moments. On day 8, I was in the garage trying to fix the old lawnmower. The pull cord had snapped, and I was attempting to thread a new one with limited success. Need help? I turned. Marcus stood in the doorway, hands in his pockets, looking uncertain. I wouldn't say no to an extra pair of hands, I said carefully. Warm memory. He came over, knelt beside me. Together we worked in comfortable silence, his muscle memory kicking in from all those childhood Saturdays when he'd help his father with repairs. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, I murmured, and he smiled for the first time since he'd come home. Dad used to say that every single time. Soft emotion. We got the mower working. A small thing. But when we tested it and the engine roared to life, Marcus actually laughed. We did it. We sure did. He looked at me then, really looked at me, and something shifted in his eyes. Thank you, Mom, for letting me come home, for not judging. He, gentle wisdom. Marcus, honey, there's nothing to judge. Life knocked you down. It happens to everyone at some point. What matters is what you do next. He nodded slowly, absorbing that. We went inside for lunch, and for the first time in years, we actually talked. Really talked. Over the next few weeks. Something beautiful started happening. Marcus began waking up earlier, helping around the house, mowing the lawn, fixing the porch railing his father had been working on 7 years ago, painting the guest room. Physical work, simple work, the kind that doesn't require strategy or corporate maneuvering. Just effort and presence, observational proud. I watched him find peace in it. One afternoon, I found him in the garage sorting through old boxes. His childhood things, baseball trophies, school projects, photos. He held up a picture of him and Robert at a father-son baseball game. Marcus was maybe 12, grinning with a foam finger on one hand and cotton candy in the other. I forgot how happy I was then, he said softly. I thought I needed all that other stuff to be happy. The job, the money, the status. Pause. And now? I asked. He looked at me. Now I don't know what I need, but I'm starting to figure out what I don't. Shift to deeper conversation. We started having dinner together every night. Real conversations. Not surface level check-ins, but actual discussions. He told me about the betrayal at work, how his mentor, Richard, had stolen his campaign ideas and presented them as his own. When the client complained about execution issues caused by Richard's changes, Marcus had been made the scapegoat. I gave that company 6 years, Marcus said bitterly. Nights, weekends, holidays, I sacrificed everything. Pause, gentle truth. You did, I agreed quietly, including us. He looked down at his plate. I know. I'm not saying that to hurt you, sweetheart, but you need to hear it. Success isn't worth anything if you lose yourself chasing it. If you lose the people who actually love you. Emotional honesty, his eyes welled up. I was so focused on proving I was good enough, on making Dad proud, on becoming someone important. You were always important, I said, reaching across the table to squeeze his hand. You were always enough. You just forgot. Voice breaking. I forgot you too, he whispered. I forgot how much you sacrificed for me. How you worked double shifts so I could go to college. How you ate ramen for dinner so I could have better clothes. How you never complained. Never asked for anything, just loved me unconditionally. Tears rolled down his cheeks. And I repaid you by disappearing, eternal love, forgiveness. You're here now, I said gently. That's what matters. But all those years I wasted weren't wasted. They taught you something crucial. About what? Has real value in this life. Pause. He nodded, wiping his eyes with the back of his hand. I love you, Mom. I love you too, sweetheart. I never stopped. A month into his stay, Marcus started job hunting. But this time was different. He wasn't looking for prestige or titles or six-figure salaries. He was looking for balance, purpose, companies with values he actually believed in. Proud observation, I watched him research nonprofits, community organizations, small businesses that prioritize people over profits. There's this local marketing agency, he told me one evening. They work exclusively with charities and social enterprises. The pay is less than half what I used to make, but the work actually means something. That sounds wonderful, I said. I have an interview next week. Shift to community connection. He also started volunteering at the community center downtown, teaching resume writing and interview skills to people who had been laid off or were re-entering the workforce. It's weird, he told me after his first session. I spent years climbing a ladder, and I thought the view from the top would make everything worth it. But this, helping people who are struggling, this feels better than any promotion ever. Did. Warm pride. I smiled. Your father would be so proud of you. You think so? I know so. This is who he raised you to be. You just took the long way around to remembering it. Emotional beat. Marcus got the job with the local agency. Started 2 weeks later. The pay was modest, but he didn't care. I can pay you rent now, he said, for staying here. Don't be ridiculous. You're my son. This is your home. Still, I want to contribute. Gentle compromise, then help me with groceries. And maybe take over mowing the lawn permanently? He laughed. Deal. Deeper healing. 3 months after he'd come home, Marcus asked if we could visit his father's grave. Together, he specified, the way we used to. Emotional weight, we went on a Sunday, bright sunshine, birds singing. The cemetery was peaceful. Marcus knelt by the headstone, ran his fingers over his father's name. Hi, Dad, he said softly. Sorry, it's been so long. I kind of lost my way for a while. But Mom helped me find it again. Pause. He placed yellow roses at the base of the stone. I understand now what you always tried to teach me. Family first. Everything else is just noise. Voice thick with emotion. I wish you were here, but I promise I'll do better. I'll take care of Mom the way you would have wanted. The way she deserves. I stood beside him, my hand on his shoulder, crying quiet tears. He knows, I whispered. He knows. 6 months after Marcus came home, we established a new rhythm. A better one. He rented a small apartment across town, affordable. Modest, but his own space. He needed that independence. But he came to dinner every Sunday, without fail, phone off, work left at the door, just us. Mother and son, the way it should be, warm contentment. We cooked together, talked about everything and nothing, watched old movies his father had loved, laughed at inside jokes from Marcus's childhood. He told me about his work, the campaigns he was building for domestic violence shelters and literacy programs and food banks. I'm making a difference, he said. Maybe not a huge one, but something real. That's all that matters, I assured him, gentle growth. He also started dating again. A woman named Jen who worked at the community center. She was kind, grounded, genuinely good. He brought her to dinner. She helped me with dishes and laughed at my stories and treated Marcus with authentic affection, not calculation. I like her, I told him later. She sees you, the real you. Yeah, he said, smiling softly. She does. Reflection, one Sunday evening. After Jen had gone home, Marcus and I sat on the porch. The same porch his father had built. The same porch I'd sat on alone for so many years. Can I ask you something? Marcus said, always. Vulnerable question. Do you forgive me? For those years I was gone? Pause, deep maternal love. I looked at him, my son, the boy I'd raised. The man he'd become. The person he was still learning to be. There's nothing to forgive, I said honestly. You were lost. But you found your way home. That's all I ever wanted. I don't know if I'd have been that gracious if I were you. Wisdom, that's because you're thinking of it as a transaction. Love isn't transactional, Marcus. Real love doesn't keep score. It doesn't hold grudges. It just ... stays, even when it hurts. Even when it's not returned. Voice soft. Your father taught me that. And now I'm teaching you. He reached over and took my hand, squeezed it. Thank you, Mom, for never giving up on me. Never, I promised. Not ever. A year after Marcus came home, he asked me to help him. With something, I want to create a scholarship, he said. In Dad's name. For kids from working class families who want to study marketing or business. Emotional surprise, I stared at him, tears instantly filling my eyes. Double quotes, Marcus. Dad didn't get to go to college. He worked in factories his whole life. But he made. Sure, I could go. He sacrificed for that. And I want to honor him by helping other kids who have that same drive but not the same resources. Pride overwhelming. He would love that, I whispered. Will you help me? I don't have a lot of money, but I can contribute some, and maybe we can fundraise, get the community involved. Yes, I said immediately. Absolutely yes. Shift to community. Impact. We spent months planning it. Marcus used his marketing skills to create a campaign. We held fundraisers, bake sales, car washes. The bowling league got involved. Sandra from my old job donated. Marcus's new colleagues helped. The community rallied. 6 months later, we awarded our first Robert Chun Memorial Scholarship. $5,000 to a young woman named Maria, whose single mother worked 3 jobs to support her family. Emotional ceremony. At the ceremony, Marcus gave a speech. My father wasn't famous. He wasn't wealthy. He never made the news or won any awards, but he was the best man I've ever known. He taught me that real success isn't measured in promotions or paychecks. It's measured in the lives you touch, the people you love, the legacy you leave. Pause. I forgot that for a while. I chased the wrong things. Hurt the people I loved most, but I was given a second chance. And I'm determined not to waste it. He looked at me in the audience, eyes shining. The scholarship is for my dad, but it's also for my mom, who never gave up on me even when I gave her every reason to, who showed me that unconditional love isn't a weakness. It's the greatest strength there is. Overwhelming emotion, I was sobbing by the time he finished. Sandra handed me tissues. Everyone was crying. After the ceremony, Maria came up to us. Thank you, she said, clutching her scholarship certificate. You have no idea what this means. To me, to my family, Marcus smiled. I think I have some idea. Meaningful exchange. She hugged him, then hugged me. Your son is lucky to have you, she told me. No, Marcus said, putting his arm around my shoulders. I'm the lucky one. People ask me sometimes how I did it. How I forgave Marcus so easily. How I let him back into my life without resentment or conditions. The truth is, it wasn't easy. And I'd be lying if I said those years didn't hurt, that his absence didn't leave scars, honest emotion. But I continue 103 Pim learned something important during that time. Love isn't about keeping score. It's not about being right or teaching lessons or making people pay for their mistakes. Love is about showing up again and again, even when it's not reciprocated, even when it hurts. Pause, because the alternative, closing your heart, building walls, refusing to forgive, that doesn't protect you from pain. It just guarantees you'll live in it forever. Shift to broader truth. I think a lot of parents struggle with this. We give so much of ourselves to our children. We sacrifice sleep and money and dreams. We pour everything we have into raising them, and then they grow up and they leave. And sometimes they forget us, understanding tone, and that feels like the ultimate betrayal. After everything we gave, how dare they not give back? But here's the thing I had to learn. Our children don't owe us their lives. We chose to bring them into this world. We chose to raise them. That was our gift to them, not a debt they need to repay. Gentle wisdom. Does that mean they shouldn't care for us? That they shouldn't make time for us? Of course not. Family should be reciprocal, but when it's not, when our kids get lost in their own lives, we can either close the door or leave it open. I chose to leave it open. Pause. And when Marcus finally found his way back, I was still there, waiting, ready to welcome him home, voice soft, not because I'm a saint, but because I'm a mother. And that's what mothers do, shift to current day. Today, Marcus is thriving, not by the world's standards. He'll never be a corporate VP or drive a luxury car or live in a penthouse, but by the standards that actually matter. He's rich beyond measure, warm observation. He has meaningful work. That helps people. He has authentic relationships built on honesty and mutual respect. He has a partner who loves him for who he is, not what he can provide. And he has me. And I have him every Sunday. Without fail. Emotional conclusion. Last Sunday, we were making dinner together, his father's famous spaghetti sauce recipe, and Marcus stopped suddenly. What is it? I asked. He looked around the kitchen, at the photos on the fridge. The calendar marking family dinners. The worn table where we'd shared so many meals. Voice thick with emotion. I just realized something, he said. For years, I thought I needed more, a bigger life, more impressive accomplishments. I was so busy looking ahead that I couldn't see what was right in front of me. And now? I asked gently. He smiled, tears in his eyes. Now I see you, Mom. I really see you, and I realize you were never invisible. I was just blind. Pause. He hugged me then, tight and long. I love you. Thank you for waiting for me to figure it out. I'd wait forever, I whispered. That's what love does. The scholarship program grew. By year 2, we were helping 3 students. By year 3, 5, Marcus recruited other successful professionals who'd come from working class backgrounds, people who understood the struggle. They donated, volunteered, mentored, proud observation, but more than that. Something unexpected happened. Marcus started getting calls from old colleagues, people from his corporate life who'd heard about what he was doing. I'm miserable, one told him over coffee. I make great money, I have the title, the office, but I hate my life. How did you walk away? Wisdom sharing, Marcus would tell them. His story about losing everything, coming home, rediscovering what mattered. It wasn't walking away, he'd explain. It was walking toward something better. Some of them listened, some didn't, but a few. A few made changes, scaled back, reconnected with family, found work that fed their souls instead of just their bank accounts. meaningful impact. One man, a former friend from Fletcher Marketing, called Marcus crying. "I just called my mom for the first time in 8 months. Because of you, because of your story." She cried, I cried. We talked for 2 hours. Marcus came home that night and told me about it. "I think Dad's scholarship is doing more than helping students," he said. "I think it's reminding people what really matters. Emotional depth. Your father would be so proud." I told him for the 100th time. I hope so. I'm trying to live in a way that honors him. And you already are, sweetheart. Tender moment last month, Marcus and Jen got engaged. Simple proposal. No huge diamond. Just love and commitment and a promise to build a life together. He brought her to tell me in person. "Mom," he said, both of them grinning, "we want to get married here, in the backyard, where Dad proposed to you. If that's okay." Overwhelming joy. I couldn't speak for a moment. Just nodded, tears streaming down my face. "It's more than okay." I finally managed. "It's perfect." Jean hugged me. "I want you to know, Mrs. Chun, I understand how important you are to Marcus. And I promise I'll never make him choose between us. Family comes first. That's not negotiable for either of us." Maternal approval. "Then you're perfect for him," I said, meaning every word. Present moment, full circle. So here we are, planning. A wedding in my backyard. The same place Robert and I exchanged vows 40 years ago. Marcus has been out here every weekend, fixing up the garden, building an arbor, stringing lights, warm observation. Yesterday, I watched him work from the kitchen. Window, his father's tools in his hands. That same focused expression Robert used to get when he was building something. He looked up and caught me watching, smiled, waved Dot, and in that moment, I saw them both. Father and son, past and present. Loss and redemption, philosophical conclusion, life. It's strange, isn't it? We lose people. We lose our way. We hurt the ones we love and get hurt in return. But if we're lucky, if we're brave enough to stay open, to forgive, to keep loving, even when it's hard, we get second chances. Pause, Marcus. Got a second chance. And so did I, Dot. We got each other back. Not the way we were before, but something better. Something deeper. Soft emotion, and every Sunday. When he walks through that door for dinner, I thank God for the day life broke him down enough to remember what actually mattered, because that's what it took. That's what it takes for most of us, Dot. We have to lose everything to remember what we really have, Dot. So if you're listening to this and you have a parent you haven't called in a while, call them today, right now. Don't wait until life forces you to. Don't wait until you've lost everything else and they're all you have left. Call them because they matter, because they've always mattered, because love shouldn't require rock bottom to be recognized, Dot. And if you're a parent whose child has drifted away, I see you. I know that pain. I've lived it. Keep the door open. Keep loving. Keep hoping, Dot, not because they deserve it, but because love isn't about deserving, Dot. It's about staying, about being there when they finally find their way back. Final emotional beat. Marcus asked me recently what the secret was. How did I keep loving him even when he'd forgotten me? I told him the truth. You were never far from my heart, even when you were far from my life. That's what mothers do. We hold our children close, even when they've let go. Pause. He hugged me and whispered, "I won't let go again." "I know," I said. "But even if you did, I'd still be here. Because that's what love is, not a transaction. Not a scorecard, Dot, just Dot, Dot staying, Dot until they find their way home." Final pause. Marcus is home now. And this time, he's not leaving. And neither am I. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more true stories about family, redemption, and the power of unconditional love. Drop a comment below and tell me, Have you ever felt invisible to someone you love? Or have you been the one who looked past someone important? Let's talk about it. We're all learning together.